Class 7, Chapter 1, Nutrition in Plants. Introduction. Nutrients are substances that are essential for the growth, development, and maintenance of an organism's body. They are obtained from food and are necessary for various physiological functions and metabolic processes within the body. Nutrients provide energy, support cellular and tissue function, promote growth, and help maintain overall health. There are 6 main classes of nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals and water. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the primary source of energy for the body. They are broken down into glucose, which is used by cells for energy production. Proteins. Proteins are essential for the growth, repair, and maintenance of tissues and organs. They are composed of amino acids and play a crucial role in various biological processes. Fats. Fats, also known as lipids, provide energy, insulation, and cushioning for organs. They are important for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and the production of hormones. Vitamins. Vitamins are organic compounds required in small amounts for various physiological functions. They act as coenzymes and play a vital role in metabolism, growth, and overall health. Minerals. Minerals are inorganic substances that are necessary for proper bodily functions. They are involved in processes such as bone formation, nerve function, fluid balance, and enzyme activity. Water. Although not typically considered a nutrient, water is essential for life. It is involved in numerous physiological processes, including digestion, nutrient absorption, temperature regulation, and waste elimination. A balanced diet should include adequate amounts of these nutrients to ensure optimal health and well-being. Different individuals may require varying amounts of nutrients depending on factors such as age, sex, activity level, and overall health status. Mode of nutrition in plants. Nutrition. Nutrition refers to the process by which organisms obtain and utilize nutrients from their environment to support their growth, development, and overall health. It involves the intake, digestion, absorption, transport, and utilization of nutrients by the body or cells. Proper nutrition is essential for maintaining bodily functions, energy production, tissue repair, and the prevention of nutrient deficiencies and diseases. Mode of nutrition. A. Autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which organisms, such as plants, can synthesize their own organic molecules from inorganic substances. Plants are the primary examples of autotrophs. They use sunlight energy, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and water to carry out photosynthesis, a process that converts these raw materials into glucose and other organic compounds and releases oxygen as a byproduct. This ability to produce their own food through photosynthesis is a defining characteristic of autotrophic plants. B. Heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which organisms obtain their organic molecules or nutrients from other organisms or organic matter. Heterotrophs cannot synthesize their own food and rely on consuming preformed organic compounds. They may obtain nutrients by consuming plants, herbivores, other animals, carnivores, or a combination of both, omnivores. Some heterotrophic organisms, such as decomposers or saprophytes, obtain nutrients by breaking down and absorbing organic matter from dead organisms or decaying material in their environment. Photosynthesis, food-making process in plants. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, algae, and some bacteria convert sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into glucose, a sugar, and oxygen. It is a vital biological process that enables plants to produce their own food and release oxygen into the atmosphere. During photosynthesis, plants use specialized organelles called chloroplasts, which contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. The process can be divided into 2 main stages. Light-dependent reactions. These reactions occur in the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplasts and require light energy. Chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, and this energy is used to split water molecules into hydrogen ions, H+ electrons, and oxygen. The oxygen is released into the atmosphere as a byproduct. The energized electrons are then transferred through a series of electron carriers, generating ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and NADPH, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, which are energy-rich molecules. Light-independent reactions, Calvin cycle, these reactions take place in the stroma of the chloroplasts and do not directly require light. They use the ATP and NADPH generated in the light-dependent reactions, along with carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, to synthesize glucose. This process is known as carbon fixation. The glucose produced serves as a source of energy and as a building block for other organic molecules that the plant needs for growth and development. The equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy, right pointing arrow, glucose plus oxygen. In chemical formula form, it can be represented as 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy, right pointing arrow, C6H12O6 plus 6O2. This equation represents the overall process of photosynthesis, where carbon dioxide, water, and light energy are used to produce glucose, a sugar, and release oxygen as a byproduct. The process takes place in the chloroplasts of plant cells and is carried out by the action of chlorophyll and other pigments. Synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates. In addition to carbohydrates, plants also synthesize other essential compounds as part of their food production. Some examples of plant food synthesis beyond carbohydrates include proteins. Plants synthesize proteins by combining amino acids, which are building blocks of proteins. Proteins are vital for various cellular functions, including enzyme activity, structural support, and defense mechanisms. Plants can modify and assemble different types of proteins to fulfill specific roles in growth, development, and response to environmental stimuli. Lipids. Lipids, such as fats and oils, are another important class of compounds synthesized by plants. They serve as energy storage molecules, provide insulation and cushioning, and are involved in cell membrane structure. Plants produce lipids through processes like fatty acid synthesis, lipid modification, and oil deposition in storage tissues like seeds. Secondary metabolites. Plants produce a diverse array of secondary metabolites, which are compounds not directly involved in primary metabolic processes like growth and development. These include alkaloids, flavonoids, terpenoids, and phenolics. Secondary metabolites play crucial roles in plant defense against pathogens, pests, and environmental stresses. Some secondary metabolites also contribute to the plant's pigmentation and attract pollinators or seed dispersers. Vitamins. Plants can synthesize various vitamins, such as vitamin C, ascorbic acid, and certain forms of vitamin E, tocopherols and tocotrienols. These vitamins have important roles in antioxidant protection, cellular function, and overall health. Humans and other animals rely on plants as a primary source of vitamins since they often cannot produce them independently. Phytohormones. Plants produce hormones called phytohormones, which regulate growth, development, and responses to environmental cues. Examples of phytohormones include auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, and ethylene. These hormones control processes such as cell elongation, seed germination, flowering, fruit ripening, and responses to stress. The synthesis of these compounds, along with carbohydrates, allows plants to have a diverse array of essential nutrients and bioactive substances. These compounds support plant growth, reproduction, defense, and interaction with the surrounding environment. Other mode of nutrition in plants. In addition to photosynthesis, plants can employ other modes of nutrition to obtain nutrients and energy. These alternative modes of nutrition in plants include heterotrophic nutrition. Some plants can obtain nutrients by directly or indirectly consuming other organisms. They may engage in carnivorous or parasitic feeding strategies. Carnivorous plants. Carnivorous plants have evolved mechanisms to capture and digest small animals, typically insects. They use specialized structures such as sticky traps, pitcher-like structures, or snap traps to capture their prey. The nutrients obtained from the digestion of these organisms supplement the plant's nutrient requirements, particularly for nitrogen and phosphorus, which may be limited in their habitats. Parasitic plants. Parasitic plants rely on other plants for their nutritional needs. They establish physical connections, known as hostoria, with host plants and tap into their vascular systems to extract water, minerals, and organic nutrients. Examples of parasitic plants include dodder and mistletoe. Symbiotic nutrition. Some plants form mutually beneficial relationships with other organisms to obtain nutrients. Mycorrhizal associations. Mycorrhizal fungi form symbiotic associations with the roots of plants. They enhance the plant's ability to absorb nutrients, particularly phosphorus, from the soil. In return, the plant provides the fungi with carbohydrates produced through photosynthesis. Nitrogen-fixing associations. Certain plants, such as legumes, e.g., peas, beans, and clover, form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria called rhizobia. These bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form for plants. In exchange, the plant provides the bacteria with carbohydrates. Epiphytic nutrition. Epiphytes are plants that grow on the surface of other plants, such as tree branches, without deriving nutrients from the host plant. They absorb moisture and nutrients from the air, rain, and debris that accumulates around them. Epiphytes have specialized adaptations like aerial roots or scales that help them anchor to their substrate and absorb nutrients from their surroundings. Mixotrophic nutrition. Some plants have the ability to switch between autotrophic, photosynthetic, and heterotrophic, absorbing organic matter, modes of nutrition depending on availability. In certain conditions, when sunlight is limited or nutrients are scarce, these plants can supplement their energy in nutrient needs by absorbing organic matter or engaging in symbiotic relationships with other organisms. Saprotrophs. Saprotrophs, also known as saprophytes, are organisms that obtain their nutrients by decomposing dead organic matter. They play a crucial role in the process of decomposition, breaking down complex organic compounds into simpler forms that can be absorbed and utilized by other organisms. Saprotrophs can be found in various kingdoms of life, including fungi, bacteria, and some protists. They thrive on decaying plant material, dead animals, and other organic debris present in their environment. By feeding on these organic substances, saprotrophs facilitate the recycling of nutrients back into the ecosystem. These organisms secrete enzymes, such as proteases, lipases, and cellulases, which break down the complex organic compounds found in dead matter into smaller molecules. These enzymes help in the breakdown of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and other organic substances into their constituent parts. The saprotrophs then absorb these simpler molecules, such as amino acids, sugars, and fatty acids, through their cell membranes. Saprotrophs play a vital ecological role in nutrient cycling. By decomposing dead organic matter, they release essential elements and nutrients back into the soil or water, making them available for other living organisms. This process is essential for the maintenance of ecosystem health and the recycling of organic materials. Examples of saprotrophs include certain species of fungi, such as mushrooms and molds, as well as bacteria like certain species of actinobacteria and proteobacteria. They are found in diverse environments, ranging from forests and soil to freshwater and marine ecosystems. Overall, saprotrophs are nature's recyclers, breaking down dead organic material and converting it into simpler forms that can be utilized by other organisms, contributing to the balance and sustainability of ecosystems. How nutrients are replenished in the soil. Nutrients in the soil are replenished through various natural processes and human interventions. Here are some ways in which nutrients are replenished in the soil. Decomposition. When plants, animals, or organic matter decay, saprotrophic organisms like fungi and bacteria break down the organic material. During this decomposition process, nutrients present in the organic matter are released back into the soil as simpler forms. These nutrients become available for uptake by plants and other organisms. Nutrient cycling. Nutrients in the soil undergo a cycle known as nutrient cycling. Plants take up nutrients from the soil through their roots, utilize them for growth and development, and then return them to the soil through leaf litter, fallen branches, and plant residues. decomposes break down this organic material, releasing the nutrients back into the soil for future use. Atmospheric deposition. Nutrients can be replenished in the soil through atmospheric deposition. Substances such as dust, pollen, and volcanic ash settle on the soil surface, bringing with them small amounts of nutrients. Rainfall can also contribute to nutrient deposition by carrying dissolved nutrients from the atmosphere to the soil. Biological nitrogen fixation. Certain bacteria, such as rhizobia in the root nodules of leguminous plants, have the ability to convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can use. This process is known as biological nitrogen fixation. These bacteria form a symbiotic relationship with plants, providing them with nitrogen, an essential nutrient. When the plants die or shed their roots, the fixed nitrogen is released into the soil. Fertilizer application. Human interventions through the application of fertilizer can replenish nutrients in the soil. Fertilizers are formulated to contain specific nutrients that are necessary for plant growth, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Farmers and gardeners apply fertilizer to enhance crop productivity and replenish nutrient levels in depleted soils. Crop rotation and cover cropping. Practices like crop rotation and cover cropping can also help replenish nutrients in the soil. Different plant species have different nutrient requirements and uptake capacities. By rotating crops or planting cover crops, nutrient imbalances can be minimized, and the soil can be replenished with specific nutrients required by different plant species. It is important to note that nutrient management practices should be implemented carefully to avoid overuse or misuse of fertilizer, which can lead to environmental problems such as water pollution. Sustainable agricultural practices and responsible fertilizer use are crucial for maintaining nutrient balance in the soil and promoting long-term soil fertility. Some important definition. Cells are the basic structural and functional units of all living organisms. They are the building blocks of life and perform various specialized functions necessary for the organism's survival. Each cell is enclosed by a cell membrane and contains a nucleus and cytoplasm. Cell membrane. The cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane, is a thin, semi-permeable barrier that surrounds the cell. It separates the internal environment of the cell from the external environment and controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. The cell membrane is composed of a phospholipid bilayer with embedded proteins that regulate the passage of molecules, ions, and nutrients. It also plays a crucial role in cell communication and recognition. Nucleus. The nucleus is a membrane-bound organelle that serves as the control center of the cell. It contains the cell's genetic material in the form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. The nucleus regulates the cell's activities by directing the synthesis of proteins and coordinating cellular processes. It is surrounded by a double membrane called the nuclear envelope, which has pores that allow the movement of molecules between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the gel-like substance that fills the interior of the cell, surrounding the nucleus. It consists of a complex mixture of water, salts, proteins, and other molecules. Within the cytoplasm, various organelles are suspended, including mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and ribosomes. It is in the cytoplasm that many cellular processes occur, such as metabolism, protein synthesis, and cellular transport. The cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm work together to maintain the cell's integrity and carry out its functions. The cell membrane protects the cell and controls the movement of substances, while the nucleus contains the genetic information necessary for cellular processes. The cytoplasm provides a medium for organelles and cellular components to carry out their functions and facilitates the exchange of materials within the cell. Stomata. Stomata are small openings or pores found on the surfaces of leaves, stems, and other plant organs. They are primarily responsible for the exchange of gases, such as oxygen and carbon dioxide, between the plant and its surroundings. Stomata regulate the intake of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and the release of oxygen and water vapor. They play a crucial role in the process of transpiration, where water evaporates from the plant surface. Green pigment. The green pigment found in plants, algae, and some bacteria is called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is responsible for the green color of leaves and is essential for photosynthesis. It absorbs light energy from the sun and converts it into chemical energy. There are several types of chlorophyll, with chlorophyll being the most common and important for photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is a complex molecule found in the chloroplasts of plant cells and certain photosynthetic bacteria. It plays a critical role in capturing light energy during photosynthesis. Chlorophyll molecules have a unique structure that allows them to absorb light in the blue and red regions of the electromagnetic spectrum, while reflecting or transmitting green light, giving plants their characteristic green color. The absorbed light energy is then used to drive the chemical reactions of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, algae, and some bacteria convert light energy into chemical energy in the form of glucose. It occurs in the chloroplasts of plant cells. During photosynthesis, chlorophyll absorbs light energy, which is then used to split water molecules, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. The energy captured from sunlight is used to convert carbon dioxide into glucose through a series of chemical reactions. Photosynthesis is vital for the production of food and oxygen, and it plays a fundamental role in sustaining life on Earth. Algae are a diverse group of photosynthetic organisms that can be found in various habitats, such as freshwater, marine environments, and even on land. They range from single-celled organisms to multicellular forms, and they come in different shapes, sizes, and colors. Algae are capable of performing photosynthesis, utilizing chlorophyll and other pigments to convert light energy into organic compounds. They are important primary producers in aquatic ecosystems, contributing to the oxygen supply and serving as a food source for other organisms. Algae also play roles in nutrient cycling and are used in various industries, including food, biofuel, and pharmaceuticals.